Welcome back. Breaking today, President Trump reportedly says he is not concerned about a new axis or alliance that's forming against the United States that includes China and Russia. This is Russia's President Vladimir Putin is calling Chinese President Xi Jinping a, quote, dear friend, and describing how Moscow's ties with Beijing are at an unprecedentedly high level. Beijing's now hosting Putin, a bunch of other world leaders, including North Korea's Kim Jong-un, for a summit. In a new radio show interview, let's go ahead and bring in former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien, the perfect person to weigh in on all of this. Sir, they're calling this a new alliance, or not new, but sort of rebranded alliance, the United South. What do you make of it? Are you shaking in your boots?
I'm not. That picture you're showing there, that's not the cool kids' lunch table in the cafeteria. Those are the outcasts, and the leader is Xi Jinping. Now, he's quite a powerful guy, and he's like with a cat's paw with Putin, playing with him, because keep in mind the Russians took millions of acres of Chinese territory in the late 1800s, and he wants it all back, almost all Siberia, just like he wanted Hong Kong and Macau back, and he wants Taiwan back. And so he's looking at Vladimir saying, hey, welcome to the party. Where's Siberia? Hand it over. And Putin knows that. He's trying to play the China card against Trump, but it's a weak card, and it's not going anywhere.
The summit is, though, designed to be a bit of a finger in the eye to President Trump. The deadline for him to respond to President Trump, to get on board with the next sort of phase, or whatever you want to call it, in these peace talks, where he's supposed to meet, Putin and Zelensky are supposed to meet one-on-one, that's sailed by. Here he is, gallivanting around with America's adversaries. What do you think President Trump reads into that?
Well, I think President Trump knows that he's got a strong hand and that Putin has a weak hand. But, Putin's playing all of his cards. So he's trying to play the China card. He's trying to play the India card. But at the end of the day, look, China is not going to pay him very much for his oil. They're going to demand steep discounts, steep, reductions in price. And Putin eventually wants to re-enter the world economy. He wants to be part of Europe. I mean, think of it. Moscow considers itself a new Rome. The Tsar is the Russian word for Caesar. He wants to be part of Europe, but he's run up against a wall with the Europeans and the Americans, and now he's forced into this hodgepodge of Asian powers, and trying to play make it look good for himself. But he's not. His people know he's weak over there, and Trump knows he's weak, and so eventually Putin's going to come around. He's going to come back to the table, and he's going to end this war. But we may have to sanction him pretty heavily to get there.
When do you think President Trump is going to do that? Because he's been threatening to do it for weeks, if not months now. Meanwhile, Putin has been, as you well know, sir, escalating aerial assaults on Ukraine nearly nightly, killing civilians off.
So, Jillian, it's a good point. And one thing I can tell you, knowing Donald Trump well and having spent a lot of time with him and watched him negotiate a lot of deals, and a lot of peace deals, a lot of hostage deals, President Trump does not like getting tapped along, what he calls getting played. And he knows Putin's playing him, but Putin's a big power, and he's going to give him a little time to save face. But I think Putin is running out of time very quickly. And Larry Kudlow, our colleague on Fox, has said this, I've said this. The big sanctions are coming, and when they do, it's going to hit Putin very hard.
The president is reportedly, in terms of these peace talks that are not happening, considering two options. One is to kind of double down and surge military support for Ukraine in this war, enough so that they could potentially overpower the Russians once and for all. Or he's looking at the possibility of cutting bait and running and essentially leaving it to Zelensky to figure something out, or not, with Putin. What would you prefer to see him do?
Well, I don't think the president's going to cut bait and run. I think when he says he'll walk away from the table, he's going to walk away from giving Putin chances. And if that happens, I assume what that means is sanctions against Russia, sanctions against the Russian Federation Central Bank, kicking him out of the SWIFT system, putting secondary sanctions on countries like India that are buying Russian oil, and then giving arms to the Ukraine and letting the Ukrainians fight the Russians. So I don't see him cutting and running away from the Ukrainians, but I do see him saying, hey, Putin's not serious, And so we'll try, we'll try and, get under the table another way.
All right, sir. Robert O'Brien, former National Security Advisor to President Trump, thank you for sharing your expertise with us today. We appreciate it.
Jillian, great to be with you. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.